New this year to the TV and projector world is the Hisense 100-inch or 120-inch laser projector. Now, the one we're talking about today is going to be the chroma model, which I personally love, and I'll tell you why. This one we're talking about today is the daylight model, but they do have a cinema model, so I think it kind of just depends on what your setup is. Some people have a basement and maybe they don't want the whole entire basement to be dark because they have a bar in the back, or some other feature where you don't always want it to be pitch black, but you also want to use it all the time. I would recommend for those home theaters that are exclusively home theaters, there's nothing else in them except for these seats and really dark areas, because that's where it's going to look the best. But overall, the daylight model is quite impressive and there's not really that much of a difference. Now, one thing that is important when you're going into projectors and laser screens is you don't want to look straight into the lens. And the great thing about this TV is it actually has sensors for when you get close to it, so it can dim it or turn it completely off. That way, if in case you were in the weird angle, of looking into the lens, you wouldn't damage your eyes. It has that auto protection, which I think is a great feature. Now, this isn't just a cinema style of projector, it also can do a great job gaming and just displaying sports. Now, the way it does that is with its 120 hertz refresh rate, which is up to date with all the new next-gen consoles, and I think it just makes all the extra movement on the screen look a lot better. And as far as ports goes, you're going to get two of those 4K 120 hertz ports. One of them, the extra port, the third one you would call it, that unfortunately is 60 hertz, but you're probably not going to need to use 120 hertz multiple times, and if you are, you'd probably not be using a projector. Oh, and also don't forget that it does have ARC. It is one of the two 120 hertz refresh rate HDMI ports. It also has two USB ports, so this is great for all those USB drives that you might want to load up some content on and just kind of test the picture for yourself. Now, the one thing that I was a little bit disappointed on is that there's not a sub out on the base itself. And, I understand why. Most people who are looking at something like this are probably going to put it in a theater or some sort of room that already has a receiver with a full surround system. If not, you can get wireless Sony speakers, but I always recommend that hardwired, full surround system if you're going to be, really investing in your home theater. Now, what's really cool about this projector is it's ready to go for your smart home, whether that's Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, or if you want to get advanced Control 4, it's got all the integration you would need, and I think that's pretty cool for a projector. Now, as far as brightness goes, this has 3000 lumens of brightness, and that is recommended as the optical amount for these laser projectors. Me personally, I didn't think this projector would be that bright, and it definitely does a great job of color. Now, technically, when you're talking about color, this says 107% of BT 2020, which I'm not going to act like I know what that is. However, I do know that it looks great. I've seen quite a few projectors, being in this industry, and I haven't really seen anything this bright and this large and just this colorful. So I really think that, overall, this is a great projector if you're looking for, the perfect home experience. That's going to be all for this one, and if you guys haven't already, check out some of our other cool videos on products like these. If you guys are interested in getting the best deal on this product, email YouTube@Walts. And if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos or deals.